Well, let's talk to one of their donors, Dale Vince, founder of Ecotricity. He's live at Labour Party conference in Liverpool. They're all there, aren't they? Dale, very good morning to you.
Yeah, morning, Mike.
Now, listen, I've got a new...
I can't see you, but...
Oh, you can't see me? That's a pity. I'm looking good. What's it like up there? I've decided I'm going to put you in the bracket of non-league sponsor for Labour Party, because old Lord Ali puts you in the shade, doesn't he? I mean, you've only given him 25 grand. He's given them, like, nearly 2.5 million.
Has he? I didn't know that. But I think my number was about 5 million this year or something like that.
You gave 5 million to the Labour Party?
Right, anyway, but in the run-up, sorry, in the 12 months before the election, yes.
And what did they do
anyway,
with it?
What's it like here? We've got the same weather that you have.
Yeah, no, what did they do with the 5 million?
They won the election with it, Mike. Won the election
well, you
with
say
it,
that, but do you know what they spent it on?
No.
Aren't you interested in whether they bought clothes or rented the apartments or went on holiday? Are you not interested in what they do with your money?
No, I'm not. They won the election. That's what I want.
Well, here's what I want to know: did they register any of those donations if they were made to personal MPs? Because that's what you're supposed to do. And you know how much of a stickler for rules they are.
Yeah, everything was registered. It's all been reported already.
So but you just said you don't know what they spent it on.
Well, that's a different thing, isn't it? You asked if they were registered, and they were.
Well, no.
I don't know what they spent it on. I don't think they have to register what they spend it on.
Well, no, they do. That's the whole point. That's why Angela Rayner is going to be the subject of a parliamentary standards inquiry, because she went to New York and she didn't register the fact that she spent more than 1,250 quid. And she also didn't register the fact that she was there with her boyfriend, who was a Labour MP, who also didn't register it.
Yeah, OK, I think that's a different thing, Mike. The money I gave to the party to fight the election with, and it wasn't given to individual MPs or candidates.
See, that's more sensible. So you're more sensible, Lord Ali, then, because it seems when you give it to individuals, there's a chance they're going to misuse it, right?
Or misreport it, right? I mean, this is about, following the rules, isn't it, and declaring stuff properly and on time.
Well, it is about that, but don't you think that Lord Ali has sort of dropped Labour a bit in it? Because, it turns out that he's been giving favours to people and paying for things which he shouldn't have really been paying for.
Oh, no, I don't think that's true. I think what he did was fine. I think there was a late declaration, wasn't it, by Keir Starmer of the gift of clothes to his wife, but everything else was declared. So I just don't think there's a scandal here, Mike.
Well, you're about the only person in Britain who doesn't think there's a scandal here. Maybe what's going to happen now that we know that you've given him even more money than he has, they'll probably start looking into what you've been doing.
Well, I think that's been reported before extensively, so I don't expect anything new to come from that.
Did you ask for a pass for Downing Street as a result of your donation?
Come on, Mike.
That's a serious question. Did you?
I'm sorry for laughing at it then, but no, of course I didn't.
Well, why do you think why do you think Lord Ali got one then, if he didn't give him as much as you did?
It's obviously not about that, is it?
Well, it is about that.
That's a conflation of the media.
No, it's not.
No, he had a job to do. He needed a pass. He got a pass. Now he doesn't need it. He's give it back. And
what job was he doing?
That's it.
What job was he doing?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Seems to me you're very light touch on all of this, Dale. I mean, the public of this country are pretty fed up, right? And I'll tell you why they're fed up. Because Keir Starmer said this was all going to be different. Government of integrity, government of service. It was all going to be no sleaze, no cronyism. And he hasn't kept his word. Do you think he's made mistakes?
I think that's an exaggerated picture that you're painting there, Mike, in terms of what's happened. I think tiny things have happened, really small events. I think it could have been better. Has there been mistakes? I just think maybe, but if so, they're small ones. And, we've got bigger things to
So you think he has made mistakes?
Getting on with, and if there are mistakes, they're just small ones, and they're presentational. It's about communications, and and the late declaration. But even that wasn't a mistake, you could say, because he checked twice, and the second time,
come on, Dale.
Actually, he should declare
come off it, Dale. Come off it, Dale. I mean, you don't need anyone to buy your Palestinian scarf for you, do you? Presumably, you pay for that with your own money. Hey?
I don't know why you're saying that now.
Well, because Keir Starmer
what are you saying, Mike?
He had clothes bought for him, right? What sort of bloke gets clothes bought for him?
I know.
What's he doing? You think that's a small
It was an
thing?
election makeover, wasn't it? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. It's a tiny thing in the scheme of things.
No, it's not. The public are very angry about it because people say to me they have to buy their own clothes, they have to buy their own glasses, they have to buy their own holidays. They don't get freebies, they don't accept them. You want to go to the football, buy a bloody ticket. It looks wrong. You must admit that.
Oh, no, I can accept that. I can accept that some people see that. I don't see it that way. I don't think it was wrong, but I accept
You don't
that
think
some
it was
people
wrong?
see it that way. It's fine.
Okay.
I don't.
Do you agree
No,
with Sharon Graham, who is the head of the Unite Union, who says that the decision to take away the winter fuel allowance from pensioners is cruel and an embarrassing misstep?
No, I don't agree.
So you think it's right to take the money away from pensioners?
Well, look, I think on balance, yes, right? Because
so you want to take money away from pensioners?
There are lots of competing. Where are you anyway? There are lots of competing needs in our country. The pensioners are protected by the triple lock, which has done a great job over the last 10 years of lifting pensioners out of poverty. I think 16% of pensioners in poverty. That's bad, but about 30% of children in our country are in poverty, and I think that's worse. And so it's about a balanced outcome. I think it was not such a bad move in the overall scheme of things. I hope we'll see something on the two-child benefits cap, because that's putting millions of kids into poverty, and that's a bad.
So you're saying children are more important than pensioners to you?
Well, I'm not boiling it down into simplicity like that, Mike. I'm saying that, we've got choices to make. No, balance. No, I didn't.
You did.
No, I didn't.
You literally said that there are more pensioners who are not in poverty, and there are more children in poverty, so you want to give the money to them and not the pensioners. That's what you just said.
That's a fact, right? There are more kids in poverty than pensioners, and so it's about balance. Kids aren't protected by the triple lock. Pensioners are. There will be a £400 rise in pensions.
Kids can run around and keep warm, though, can't they? And kids can run around and keep warm. Pensioners can't.
Well, some can. Come on, we're being silly now.
Well, we're not being silly at all. These are life and death. I mean, the Labour Party in 2017 said that if the winter fuel allowance was taken away, 4,000 pensioners would die. You think that's funny?
Of course I don't.
Well, how has it changed then? How have they now decided that that's not going to be the case? That was their own research.
It's about choices. Yeah.
Yeah, they've chosen to punish pensioners.
I'm bored with this topic now, Mike.
You're bored with it?
Just come on.
Well, let's talk about your green revolution then, because you know what's also happening, right? Your mate Sadiq Khan trying to pave over London with cycle lanes, right? The police are now saying that the biggest danger is people on electric bikes, which have been falsely ramped up so they can go 50 to 60 miles an hour, stealing phones from people and stealing handbags from women and some men.
Some men. I was waiting for that.
Well, some men carry bags, but, listen... What
do you want me to say?
What I want you to say is that, the bike revolution is getting hijacked by electric bikes, which are dangerous because they can blow up, for one thing, and two, they're being used by criminals. So your crusade, your mad green crusade, is causing more problems than it's solving.
Yes, of course it is.
Right. All right, well, let me get back to more specifics then before I let you go back to your business of conference. You're going to tell me that you can guarantee that every piece of pound of money that you gave to the Labour Party was not spent for anything that would have in any way broken any rule or would have in any way been against the ethics and the honesty and the integrity and the transparency of Keir Starmer's Labour government.
Well, that's a lot of words that you just tried to put in my mouth there, Mike. What I told you was I gave them the money, gave it to the party to fight the election, and I don't know what it was spent on, the detail of it, and actually I don't care.
OK. Can I have some money?
What are you going to spend it on?
You don't care?
Right, no, well, I did. The purpose I care about, the detail, not so much.
Oh, OK. I mean...
Anyway, you're well paid. You're well paid, Mike.
You don't know what I'm paid.
You can buy your own clothes. I don't know that, but I know you're well paid. You can buy your own clothes.
Keir Starmer declared £404,000 as his income for 2023, right? I think he can afford to buy his own suits.
He might earn more than you.
Oh, he does. And given that you're so keen to take money away from pensioners, how much money have you had in the last 12 months in government subsidy for your Ecotricity companies?
None. Not a penny.
Not a penny. You've had no public money sent to you at all?
Not a penny.
Are you sure?
No, ever, actually, ever.
Ever?
Yes, absolutely. It's one of those big myths around me.
No, it's not a myth.
Green energy,
You try and sell it as if you were getting money to have some youth employment scheme. Still a subsidy, isn't it?
That was a government scheme to get young people into work.
And how much was that?
It's a proper thing to do.
And how much was that?
I have no idea.
You don't know?
Idea.
How the hell do you run a company? You don't seem to
went to the money. The money went to the young people.
How many young people did you employ?
I don't even know that.
You don't know much, do you?
You dig up these ridiculous little details and you say that's a subsidy. Come on, man.
Well, you don't know how much money you got. You don't know who you gave it to. You don't know what they did. You don't know what the Labour Party did with £5 million. I'm amazed that you're still in business. If you're that sort of,
It's crazy, isn't it? I just don't care about money. I just don't.
How much were you worth, Dale?
I don't know.
Don't know?
Depends on who you're reading. Yeah. There's all kinds of speculation.
Well, you must have a rough idea of how much you're worth.
No, because I don't care about money. And I think I'm only reckoned to be worth money because Ecotricity is worth something, and that's what I own. I own Ecotricity.
How much is that worth?
That's not the same as having money.
How much is that worth?
It's like if your house is worth £1 million. I don't know. Well, if your house is worth £1 million, Mike, you're a millionaire, technically, and that's the same principle.
Well, that's what Labour are saying about pensioners, isn't it? And that's why they're taking away their fuel benefit.
Is it? I didn't know.
But they're not rich. Do you know anything? Can I ask you any question to which you will answer yes or no?
I think I've given you plenty of yes and no answers.
You've given me a lot of don't knows as well,
yes and no answers are what I do. Well, if I don't know, I don't know. I'm not going to lie to you.
Right, well, let me just recap. You don't know what Labour did with £5 million. You don't know how much money you're worth. You don't know... You don't know, or care. You don't know how many subsidies you've had from the government. You don't know how many people you employed when you got a subsidy.
No, I do. No,
and you don't know what they did with it.
No, I've not had subsidies. We have not had subsidies.
I call it a subsidy. When you get free money from the government, that's a subsidy.
You're wrong. Yeah.
Well, that's the only thing you know.
You have to look up the definition of subsidy, Mike, because you're wrong.
Yeah. When I look up the definition of subsidy, I see ecotricity. That's what I see. That's what the definition is in the dictionary. Anyway, listen, enjoy the rest of the conference. Give my regards to Keir Starmer when you see him, because he's not going to be there for much longer.
I doubt I'll do that.
All right. See you soon. Dale Vince there, founder of Ecotricity, live from Labour Party Conference, Liverpool.